Mm-mm-mm. Hello, friends, and welcome into another episode of Trusted Tape. Hold on, I think I got a dial turned up too high, but my name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
And I am hanging out with former Dallas Cowboys scout man with the Super Bowl ring. Don't know if he's wearing it today. A lot of times he is. You wearing a Super Bowl ring today? No Super Bowl ring today. It's Bryan Broaddus.
Hey, Bri.
Hey, Bri. How you doing, bud?
That's my proof. That's my proof I was involved some way.
Yeah, picture with the Lombardi.
But you know what?
Will do it.
It's something, though. I also have a picture with the claret jug, which is what you get for the Open Championship. So I didn't never win that. So maybe – and I have a picture with the Borg Warner Trophy, which is for the Indianapolis 500. Never won that.
All right.
So maybe I'm just an imposter is what
I have a picture with a hot dog, and I've never won the Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Now this is a hot dog bun.
I think it's a hot dog too.
we got us one more preseason football game left, Bryan.
We do.
We got us one more. First of all, let's just knock out a super chat that came in before the show even started, which we appreciate. You
Very
know,
nice.
like button before the show starts, being in the chat before the show starts. We sure do appreciate it. William wants to know, at what point does it become impractical for Micah to play at Philly? And
Getting close. We're getting close.
Yeah. Have you resigned yourself? I think I've resigned myself, and I feel like I might be an idiot. I might be a stupid dumbhead, because this one, I feel like it's like, oh no, they're not going to get him a contract before this season starts. They're not going to.
No,
And I try to
probably
remember
not.
if I felt that way about other ones that end up getting done.
Mhm.
But I feel like this one's just going to be, when's Micah going to show up? Because I'm
Mhm.
ready for him to not get an extension and get a
Yeah.
franchise tag, because Jerry is a silly goose.
Well, they've got to draw the line in the sand. We call them the cavemen because they cave on tracks. They know that they have to find ways to. This is an unusual one to draw the line in the sand on, but I think all
Right.
the things that we've reported, I know all the things that you've talked about on your broadcast and with Jesse and with Clarence, Joe, all those guys when you used to do this. There were some concerns about Micah Parsons. There was a period of time where we were getting our ass kicked in the media talking about what was going on with Micah Parsons, and that there were people in the organization that weren't named Jones that were talking about Micah Parsons, his work ethic, things, leadership, all these things. There were a lot of questions within the organization. And this wasn't just made up stuff. This was like legitimate people talking about, don't pay him $40 million a year. And it all got out. And, people were talking about it for a long time. And now all of a sudden, Jerry, who listens to every single person that will give him an opinion, trust me, I worked with that man for 14 years very closely. Yep. He will solicit an opinion if you have one. And, Stephen Jones, we get on them for, not doing contracts the right way. And why are you paying this guy? Why are you not paying that guy? And so they're really not winning at this at all. But Dallas has some leverage here. Dallas has some leverage until Micah Parsons, the 2 years pass and they have no more tags. And then Micah Parsons becomes maybe a $50 million player. Then they lose their leverage, much like they lost their leverage with Dak. It's the same thing. It's just the questions about Micah Parsons were within the organization, and we get on him that to me, we get on them about the fact that they just give up on contracts and stuff. They're actually drawing the line in the sand, and so what do we want? What do we want here? And I understand it's Micah Parsons, it's one of your better players, but that's what this is all about. This is about Jerry. It's about Micah. It's about David Mulugeta. It's about who's going to stand up and say, okay, enough. I'm going to go play. Let's get the contract done. Jerry's mad. And Micah's mad. And so that's well.
And I'm promised David Mulugeta's mad. Like he's got to be, because he's the one who's actually been disrespected.
They're all mad. Yeah, they're all mad about that. And so this is where, and now I see people in here, 1.2 million every game Micah misses. This is what we're talking about anyway. I mean, the Cowboys believe that Micah Parsons is not going to miss game checks. That he's proven to them that by staying in at camp, he wasn't willing to get fined $50,000 a day to miss camp.
Well,
That's a clear indication when Micah Parsons starts missing games and missing game checks.
yeah.
Now jump, but we're getting close to the point where Micah Parsons is not going to be available for a game. If he were to say, okay, I'm going to report Monday after all training camp's over, I'm going to report Monday and start in earnest to get ready for the Philadelphia Eagles, that gives yourself a chance. But he hadn't practiced at all in spring in training camp. We were out there the whole time.
No.
You were out there. I was out there. I didn't see Micah Parsons doing anything extra. I didn't see him on the field after everybody was gone doing anything extra.
I do have a spy that did see him that last week out on the field before everybody else. Early
there you
morning.
Go.
But
it's
not like he's not in pads and banging around, like he's out there doing cardio, but he's at least out there doing some stuff.
There you go. And we talk about the back and all this stuff and this guy. I mean, if Micah Parsons signed a contract today, he'd be out there practicing tomorrow.
Oh, for sure.
This whole thing, is, and listen, people are saying maybe the agent's a problem. No, the agent's not a problem. Jerry believed something with Micah Parsons. He believed that maybe they had the framework of getting something done. Yeah. And then Micah realized, damn, I shouldn't have done this. And now you've got two guys. David Mulugeta saying, well, I ain't going to talk to the Cowboys. They have to come to me. He's trying to save face for Micah. He's trying to save his client face for Micah for doing what he did. And Jerry's pissed off, believing that he did the right thing by negotiating one-on-one with a player. And he's wrong too. They're both wrong. They're both wrong. Micah should have never done what he did to Jerry to think hey, man, I'm going toe to toe with one of the most powerful guys. I've said this a bunch. Both of these guys are at fault. They really are. Jerry believing he could do it without the agent, and Micah stepping into the ring with Jerry Jones. It's wrong. Both of them are wrong, and they're both bad.
I need to double check this. Because it's in the chat. T. Higgins, when he finally got his deal done, he parted ways with David Mulugeta because he wanted to get him top dollar, I guess. And T. Higgins wanted to get a deal done. I could see Jerry wanting to pressure Micah into being get a new agent who will let you sign a contract.
Micah's not going to fire David Mulugeta. David Mulugeta is one of the best agents in the league.
Oh, I know.
He's one of the best. There's no reason for Micah Parsons to fire David Mulugeta.
It would just, but it is T. Higgins and him did part ways because T. Higgins must have been like, look, I just want to sign. And David's like, I can't let you sign for below market. That's not how this works. And
hey, David, Jerry and I talked some parameters, man. And I agreed on years. And Jerry came out to me and said, it's kind of hard when you're guaranteeing $200 million to a guy. Jerry Jones ain't lying. He's an old man. That's what old men think. We just say things. Whatever's on our mind, we say them with no ramifications. None.
And he's older. He's considerably older.
I do the same damn thing. I'm 61 years old. I say stuff and then I go, oh, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that. This is what the game is.
Have you been watching the documentary? Not that you need
to.
No,
I haven't. I live that.
Okay. I did
I'm
thoroughly
going to watch it, but yeah, I'm trying to get Crown Global Media Studios up. I'm trying to get them up. Yeah.
Follow Crown Global Media on YouTube. Do it right now.
Yeah, appreciate you.
What are we at right now? Crown Global Media YouTube.
It's been nice. No, people have been nice about this.
8.2. We need to be at 10,000 by the end of the week. We're at 8. We're at 9.19 actually. It's not updated there. 9.19. We need to be at 10,000.
Thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody. Excited about this. I've been like I say, but yeah, I lived all that. I lived that where they were kicking our ass, with Michael Irvin in the White House and all that. I lived that. So yeah,
I just want to tell you one thing that I enjoyed. I mean, it is I moved to Dallas in 1994, and the amount of footage and stuff that they have in this is incredible.
Oh, sure.
And the amount of things that who thought I knew all the things, am actually learning is wild. But my favorite is when they lost the NFC title game to San Francisco in Barry Switzer's first year. Yeah. And then and Jerry goes on TV recruiting Deion Sanders, who's a free agent. Yeah. And then the words that Jerry says and how they don't line up with reality sometimes are highly entertaining to me. And I don't know if he wasn't thinking about everything that's in the documentary, because he was like, look, remember a few weeks ago when he was saying, I deal with principals. I don't deal with agents. I don't know that agent's name. Well, the Dion recruitment was literally calling Dion's agent by name, being in a room with him, not Dion.
Okay.
Like, and Eugene Parker and I went in that room, and
Eugene
I'm like,
Parker,
so we do negotiate with agents, and we do know their names.
Eugene Parker's name is easier to say. Jerry looks like a buffoon if he doesn't pronounce David Mulugeta's name right. He does. He looks like a buffoon. Yeah. It's like, well, that David Mulugeta. It's kind of like guys. It's like President Trump saying Tua T's name, Tagovailoa. And you're trying to phonetically. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to embarrass yourself by saying David Mulugeta's name wrong.
That is true because it's
a bad look.
Because
it's
he can't
terrible look.
He can't be pronounced Biotish.
We did shows with Stephen Jones. Baidez. And I'm like, do I correct him? Yeah. No, I guess not. So.
Kerry Matthews, Freak Jesus. He's on the campaign for Deuce at all times. He said, Brian, how we feeling about Deuce? Can't get just.
Don't feel good.
Give me a good answer.
No, I'll tell you what, the son of a gun is one of the best college players to ever lace him up. One of the best. His lack of height is a problem. He's got a huge heart. Those are all things scouts say about a player. He'll step up, he'll blitz pickup. But if he's not a starter or he's not the backup, he's got to play on all the special teams. And that's where the liability becomes. Phil Maffa has kind of shown he could do that. The question you got to ask yourself is, what if they cut Phil Maffa? What if this team cuts Phil Maffa and they keep Sanders and Blue and Williams and then use Hunter Lipke as the fourth guy? Get ready for that, folks. Get ready for that.
I'll be sad, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess I understand it. And it's always, I think we tend to, us and the fan base, at least a percentage, like you fall in love with all of the Cowboy young players.
He's a great kid.
In camp.
He gets hurt at the worst times, though, too.
You're talking about Deuce, right?
Oh, I'm talking about Deuce. I'm sorry, I was jumping.
Okay,
Who are you talking about?
I think that I think that works. I heard Phil Maffa from you.
Oh no, I said Phil Maffa because there's like people like I'm talking to people like how to put together the 53. Yeah. And they're like, well, don't, the Phil Maffa one, trust me, I've sat in that room where like all of a sudden they start tilting tags and somebody will make a passionate speech and Jerry will go, well, why are we doing this? What, like Jim Garrett will sit over there and tell, Jerry that Drew Henson, he's the next Troy Aikman. And now Jerry's glasses are on the end of his nose and he's going, and Sean Payton then goes to me and goes, we're effed. We're effed now. We're effed. He did. Sean Payton leaned over and goes, we're effed.
Did Sean Payton speak up?
Oh, he tried. Sean Payton tried. He was the only son of a gun in the room that like we're talking to like Stick Michael, the general manager, Gene Michael of the New York Yankees about this guy. We're a football team. We're talking to the New York Yankees. That shows you how effed up we were. We're talking about stuff about, Bill Parcells, I think we want to get Stick Michael on and talk about Drew. Okay. Like we can't watch the 9 games at Michigan that, he played and Sean Payton goes, this guy can't play. Yeah. This guy can't play. And he was the only one that spoke up in that whole room. Everybody else, he's the next Troy Aikman, and okay. Man, I'm like, Sean, you're right.
Sean, we got to fight harder, Sean. We got to fight harder. We got to be the last one. We got to be the last one to talk to Jerry.
It works every time. If you're the last one, and there's somebody obviously talking to him about Micah,
which is a terrible thing for a GM, which is why you just need to have a GM who can decide that instead of it being the last guy who talked to the guy.
They got a guy that might be a GM one day. The guy who's like the director of player personnel guy might decide one day he wants to make his own calls,
Yeah. And I will secretly, not secretly, but poll for that team. I think that'll be fun. Good luck to him whenever that happens. Probably in the next couple of years, if I have the timeline right on the ages of certain people. But I do want to go back to like the guys who you're saying like, oh yeah, get ready. Like they may not be here because
Sam Williams. What do you think about Sam Williams?
Boy, I would not think his roster spot would be in jeopardy. Do you?
What if Houston's playing better than him?
I could see it. I think my thought would be that Houston is probably more limited, but if your goal is to sack the quarterback, then I could see that because I think he does bring some nice pass rush.
See, that's the thing about it is, I mean, Sam's in the final year of a deal.
Yeah.
So
Sam's making nicknames for the D line. There's no way he's getting cut. He's the leader of the.
Oh, we got the Hot Boys coming back again.
Yeah, he
Hot Boy merchandise.
This isn't totally his fault. Like I think somebody tagged him, or he might have searched it. I don't know, but it was like, what could be the nickname for the Cowboys D line? And he threw one out, and I'm like, don't do this, Sam. Don't do this.
By the way, if you're one of those people that tags media members and things they say to the players, you're the evil person.
Yeah, don't be.
You're really no. My man Zach Wolchuk got tagged in. He did his 53-man roster projections.
I have to get 49 of 53, or I have to wear clamps on my tipples during the show.
And you'll enjoy that, so you don't care.
Well, I will enjoy it. But Shotty was like, "There's going to be a bunch of surprises," and I was like, "No, there's not. I'll get 49 of 53, or you guys can pick my punishment." So
Vach and I determined that we went through the most tradable players on the Cowboys.
That's why I keep going to Tolbert because I don't think they have a lot of them. But if you like your receivers,
Williams,
you have at least one who has proven something in the NFL. Like and you want to get an actual rosterable, playable NFL player, I think Tolbert jumps out at me. If somebody liked Williams,
does Bass or Hoffman do anything for you as a backup guy that maybe could be a starter, dude?
If somebody is desperate on the O-line or would view them as their best backup, then maybe.
So you're telling me Tolbert is your most tradable commodity that potentially could be moved on?
I think so. A guy who's proven that.
I agree. I agree with you.
Proven I'm a starter who had 7 or 8 touchdowns last year, 700 yards. Like that's startable.
Okay, I did this exercise with Vach. You're a pro personnel director for another team.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you could have Sam Williams or Tolbert for your team. You can only have one.
I think my roster would determine that because neither one lights my world on fire. It's just where am I weak?
You're an edge need and a wide receiver need team. You're like the Cowboys. You need some things at different spots, but you're trying to convince your general manager to take one of these guys. Which guy are you going to take?
Okay, so I'll tell
Sam Williams or Tolbert.
This depends on the personality of me, and I'm currently in my 41-year-old world where I'm looking for something I can trust. So I think I would go Tolbert. And Williams, I think, is more sellable if you are more Jerry Jones circa 1990 something, where you can really push look at this athlete and look at these tools. Whereas with Tolbert, I can say he's done it. He's going to be where he's supposed to be. He's going to do the effing job. And I guess I would go Tolbert. But that's a hard one.
It is a hard one.
Because I do think there's more to sell with Sam. Because with Tolbert, I can't sell you on look at how big he is, look how strong he is, look how fast he is, look how he's uncoverable. I would just be selling that guy can do the job. He can be one of our top 3 receivers, and we can trust that he's going to be where he needs to be, and he'll do the job.
Yeah.
And that's boring.
Yeah. Folks in the chat saying Denver just traded a 7th round wide receiver to New Orleans for a 4th and a 7th. See, that's what you need to do. You need to find a team. You need to find a team like that.
Well, we missed an opportunity, Brian.
Well, okay, what about this? Kellen Moore knows who Tolbert is, right? Doesn't he kind of know who Tolbert is?
Sure.
I mean, made a deal for, it's weird. Maybe Kellen Moore. See, you need to find a team. But I think
Kellen Moore's team sucks. Are the Saints a team that's out there scrapping to find an okay contributor?
Saints are out there trying to get the first overall pick is what they're trying to do.
They don't need Jalen Tolbert. They need
Tyler Shuck and all. I mean, come on, man.
Let me knock out the super chat because I forgot where I was about to go. If the Joneses win this one by sticking to their guns, does this help them in future negotiations? Could this be them getting tired of being crushed?
Yes.
Yes.
It absolutely does. Yes.
Welcome back to Dalton Miller, back in America, baby. Just want to say I love and miss you guys.
What's he doing in America? I thought he was drinking wine in Portugal.
He
or
was in
someplace like-
Portugal and got mad at me on the internet because I went to Portugal and I didn't reach out and I didn't think about it while I was there. But then I was like, oh, yeah, you are in Portugal, aren't you? And I was in Portugal for like 5 or 6 days. But he said,
you're kind of a terrible friend, to be honest with you.
sometimes I don't mean to be. I will tell you.
Oh no, you'll be a yay for
reason-
me. You'll be a yay for me, dude, every once in a while.
The reason that I'm a terrible friend accidentally is just because, and this is probably
wait. You're over. Why does Dalton have to pay to ask a question?
I paid Dalton money to be on his Patreon to get access to certain things.
Okay.
Dalton's
breakdowns are good.
Dalton's got some stuff. Dalton's got some stuff for you. It's the best.
Oh, Sky Moore got traded. Is that right?
That's what I was saying. We missed an opportunity. We missed an opportunity because now Sky Moore is going to send San Francisco back to the Super Bowl. He's finally getting to a team with a coordinator who knows what the hell he's doing, and with a quarterback who can just do the job instead of being wild.
Big Red just moved on from your guy, didn't he?
He did. San Francisco needed a wide receiver, and I just want to shout out. This is how you know that people love our draft stuff. When I tell you the number of people who tagged me on Twitter about Sky Moore being traded.
How many years was that ago? 4 years?
This has got to be his 4th year, right? This has got to be the last year of his rookie deal.
I tell you, people do not forget.
If you have the first year, if you have the first pick in fantasy,
yeah.
Well, let me not do that to you. But let me tell you now, right there at the end of the first round, that turn.
Big Sky Moore?
At 12-13.
Yeah. The snake coming back.
Yeah, you want to go starting running back and Sky Moore right there at the snake end of the first round. Dro Nose is in the super chat. We all agree Jay Toya is the starting one tech, right?
I'm on 8 platforms. I think I put him on. I started him, I think it was 2 days ago. I said I'm starting him as the one technique. Absolutely.
I think he's the starting one technique also. Also, Mozzie and Clark have to be first cuts. Tolbert for Shador. So the Mozzie, technically with their cap space, if you really were just like can't play, you could cut Mozzie and it would cost you more this year than he would count this year just to be on the team. But next year you'd be free and clear. Like you could do that if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Damone Clark, I don't think is deserving of being cut. But he is one of them where it gets interesting when you get down to how many linebackers they're going to keep. 5 or 6. If they keep 6, there's no doubt he's on the team. If they keep 5, I think it's him versus Buddy Johnson, probably.
I don't think Buddy Johnson's on the squad myself.
Okay, so then I think Damone is.
Yeah.
Mozzie, I would imagine will be here just because you don't have anybody else. Right?
Well, that's the thing about it is they might just go ahead and I'll tell you what, keep an eye on this one. Here's a sneaky one for you, Jeff. Ernest Brown, defensive tackle.
So he's interesting because he's tweener guy, but he does kind of pop a little bit. Like as an edge guy, he can play the run. As a tackle, occasionally he can play the run because he just plays so damn hard.
There's a reason why you watch this show, folks.
He like that dude. I'm like, okay, well, wait, because I had to look up how much he weighed because I see him lining up everywhere. And sometimes just because of alignment, he'll end up being a guy who's double teamed when he's at D tackle. And like he'll find his way to jamming up your blocking scheme just because he's relentless. Yeah. And it's like, which guy is going to continue to block him? Which guy's going to get to the next level? They don't know because he's a freaking wild man.
Yeah,
fun.
That's one of those sneaky keep an eye on 53 player things that I was told. So
okay. And Dalton said I may talk about his all 22 for draft stuff. Look up Dalton Miller on Patreon if you love the NFL draft. That's the best film library I've ever had access to. I just want you guys to know that. Okay, where else was I going? Where else was I going today?
Is that seriously? Dalton does the Patreon does film? He's got film. Oh, I hope I'm not government secrets or anything.
He said I may talk about it. So
okay,
about it.
Cool.
It's
hey, folks ask me all the time, how do you watch all 22 film? Go for it. That's
there wasn't a player that I couldn't find in there, and there wasn't a player that didn't have multiple games in there.
Dalton?
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Dalton, we'd like a word with you.
Yeah, I want to go back to a guy that you mentioned earlier because he's the guy that this year I know somewhere in my brain that we tend to overrate the young players that we like. And most of the time, the vast majority of the time, you can release a guy and get him back on your practice squad.
Holden?
No, well, so Holden is the one that I think there are more fans that are really high on him. Like, I don't think he has a chance to make the team. And I'm not saying that he's not a nice player. I think guys who are gamers, that's important. Like, I don't think he has standout traits other than he finds his way to the ball and he makes it work.
Yeah, he did a good job last night of it. He's had some good practices. Like you say, let me ask you this question.
What's he going to do on special teams? Like, I saw Flournoy running down.
Oh, no,
Flournoy I saw him as a jammer.
Flournoy plays. Flournoy
I think Flournoy is the guy who's got a shot to get on the team and play a little bit.
Okay,
and I think Ho's the practice squad guy. But Maffa is the guy I wanted to bring up because I would rather just keep Phil Maffa and what I really don't like is that Javonte Williams got the full Zeke treatment. And I guess just he's the one who didn't get hurt. But everything about him screams to me, we're about to average 3.5 yards per carry.
Okay, this is and I thought he was just the third down back when I was watching practice. That's kind of what I thought. Let me ask you this. Two players that are getting Zeke treatment that I know nothing about. I mean, really kind of, just kind of watched it, but
I mean, Lipke not having to play so far is wild.
Oh, no. Kenneth Murray, man.
Oh, no, I agree with that too. That's your guy, though.
That's my guy. But
all these other linebackers are out there earning it, and I got good things to say.
I saw him day one. He's moving around. I'm like, okay, this might be all right. And then he goes and has a child. Congratulations, sir. And then it's like, but then like people saying in the last part of practice, he's been now practicing. So, I'm like, oh, but I don't know. I mean, like, I kind of have an idea of the linebackers just from the preseason games. Yeah. But I'd like to have seen Kenneth Murray play, but you're right about Williams. They gave him the treatment.
That's the position group that, like, I don't think the Cowboys don't have a star at linebacker unless when you get Overshown back, if he can be the same guy, he could develop into one. But I do think you have 4 or 5 different guys. Yeah. That at different times I'm like, oh, he could be your starter. Oh, he could be your starter. Like Shamar James has his moments. Sanborn, I think you can trust. Leafau has a bunch of moments. So Leafau, Sanborn, Damone Clark has played well practice and preseason. Kenneth Murray they traded for and is here, but I've seen the least from him.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, to me, listen, this linebacker group will only be as good as how that front plays gaps.
Yes, when the front is getting when they get moved back or when they do wonky stuff and the O-line has free shots at your linebackers, you're dead.
Yeah.
When you give them a chance, they play.
I saw Leafau having to fight. I mean, this is one time where Mozzie got pushed back and now Leafau's got him in his lap. He's fighting him to find the ball. And I'm not picking on Mozzie. I'm just saying when you make your linebackers have to run the hump and they're not filling and where they're supposed to be, you're going to get gashed. These linebackers are capable. They're capable of running down plays. Even Shamar James, he can run down plays. These guys can run and go get plays. Sanborn can run and go get plays. But if all of a sudden that defensive line is not playing A gap, B gap, C gap, it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter you could have Luke Kuechly playing linebacker. It ain't going to matter.
Yeah, I thought that was the biggest thing in the last preseason game. If you wanted to determine, because I just went through, because everybody talked about the run defense, and then they're like, yeah, but it was less than 4 yards a carry. And I'm like, well, let's just look at it. And the answer on pretty much every play to did you do run defense well or not was, did the linebackers have a chance to key and beat a blocker to a spot, or were the D linemen in their lap?
Dallas Cowboys defense this year. You're probably not going to have Mozzie to kick around because that's the low-hanging fruit. But if you have Dalton Miller film or all 22 NFL film, whatever film you got, and you're watching Dallas's defense, and all of a sudden you see guys jumping gaps or not doing their responsibility, this run defense will get crushed. It will get crushed. You saw against the Ravens, it's capable. It's capable of A, B, C gap coverage. Very capable of doing that. But if you duck a block, if you don't do your job of holding up a guy, this is where JT does a good job. Those guys holding up blocks and kind of allowing these linebackers to run to the ball. That's going to be the whole key for Dallas's defense this year. If you're watching your all 22 and Dallas is losing gap control, A, B, C gap, it's over. Their
Yep.
run defense is not going to. You can't be part-time good at this. That's where, like with Parcells with a smaller front. When we had a smaller front, when Dexter Coakley was playing and Datwin was playing, Leroy Glover did a good job as a smaller guy, holding up, being in gaps, giving the linebackers a chance to get to the football. It's that simple, folks. There's nothing else you need to watch this year. If your run defense is giving up big plays, it's probably because they're playing a gap scheme and they're not very good at it.
Yep. All right, Bryan, have a great day. Everybody
Thank
make
you,
sure
sir.
you're following Crown Global Media on YouTube, trying to get to
Appreciate that.
10,000 today. Okay. And then make
Appreciate
sure
that.
you're listening to him on 105.3 The Fan, and check me out on the DLS Cowboys podcast, which will be live today at 11 o'clock. And we're going to kick butt and take names. How about that?
Sounds good, Jeff.
Remember, you have no idea what